I am not forgetting to turn on the video this time, so I actually will have a video, excuse me, for you guys this time around. So, all right, this is the Kung Fu Life Podcast, episode 19, and I am Leo, your host. Let's start off with some lessons learned. So I had, this lessons learned is about dream analysis. The past the past year and a half or so, I've been writing down my dreams. And I know different people have different ideas about what dreams mean and if they mean anything at all. And my thoughts are that they do mean something. I don't think that they're just a bunch of random visuals that your brain is compiling or random thoughts that your brain is compiling and putting into some sort of a sequence just to make sense out of it all. I don't think that makes much sense. And when you're dreaming, you go through a whole experience, especially, you know those, everybody's had those dreams where they're really vivid and clear, and you are convinced that you are actually inside them, that this is real life. Everybody's had those, and to me, I just think it's too powerful of an emotion for it to just be some random bit of information that your brain is trying to digest. I think it's more focused than that, but I think the trick to dream analysis, there is no trick. It's you really have to understand what's going on in your life, and you really have to apply it to your life and how it could affect you. And you also have to apply it in more than just the obvious ways. Although the obvious ways are good to note and you can't dismiss them. But here's the example. I guess it's better if I just go into it and explain to you one of the dreams that I've had fairly recently, which I think I've understood. So it started out with me waking up, and I woke up in this bedroom. Well, it wasn't a bedroom; it was a dorm room, and I hit the snooze a couple times. Finally, I got up and I was like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. Let's go. I get up and I go to the bathroom, and then there's somebody in the bathroom. And as soon as I open the door, he slams it shut. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just wait for a little bit. So I wait for a little bit, then I go back in there, and then the entire bathroom is full of people. Like when I open up the bathroom, it has a couple of urinals, a couple of toilets and whatnot, and it's literally just chock full of people. And then I'm like, okay, well, shoot, I need to find another bathroom. And so I go out, open my door, and it leads into a hallway. This is when I kind of discover that it's a dormitory, excuse me. And when I open the door, there's a bunch of people walking around, and I can't find another bathroom anywhere. There's no other bathrooms at all. So I go back and try the bathroom that is in my room, and it's just locked now. I can't even get into it. So then I'm like wandering around, what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden the dream jumps to me being outside with two other guys. I think they're my friends. One of them, I think, was an old coworker of mine, but we're walking down. We walk past this dumpster, and I hear someone snoring soundly and like they're enjoying themselves so much because they're so deeply asleep that it's just like that pleasurable kind of snore that you hear. And I kind of look into the dumpster, and I kind of see a shape, but then I just ignore it and just walk by. I'm like, oh, it just struck me how that guy sounded so at peace. and then I find the little concrete block wall, and I'm like, okay, I'll just pee against this wall. And then I look down, and there's a puddle there, and I'm like, why don't I pee in the puddle? Okay, so I peed in the puddle, and that's the dream. And so I woke up, and I wrote it down, and I thought about it for a few days, and I was like, what could it mean? And here's what I came to. I think that it means that, so first off, you got to kind of break down your dream a little bit, but you also have to pull it all together. So you have to look at the details and then the big picture as well. And one of the things I noticed was that it started off with me being lazy, me not feeling like I wanted to get up. You know, those times when you're like sitting in bed and you're like, oh man, do I really need to go to the bathroom, or can I just fall back asleep? And and then you know, I'm hitting the snooze button, and then I go to where I need to go. I need to go to the bathroom, so I go where I need to go, but I can't go there. And so what I'm taking all of this to mean, all that whole part of it to mean is that, and the other part was that I was in a dormitory, right, a place of learning, a school. It very much gave off that feeling. And so what I took that to mean, so I took the snoozing and being lazy and being in a place of learning, and then needing to go somewhere, but not being able to get in there. And so what I took that to mean is that if I'm lazy, then there are things that I need to learn that I will not be able to learn because I'm being lazy. And then tie that into the rest of the dream with me walking by. What came to that, I came to the conclusion that the person in the dumpster was actually me. And what I took that to mean was that you can be lazy all you want, it's your choice. And you can sleep away the day, and where you'll be is in a garbage can, but you can sleep as soundly as much as you want. You can be homeless and be sleeping as soundly as you want, wherever you want, out in the world, but you will but that will be your situation. You will not know what you need to know to advance your life. I haven't figured out the part about peeing against the wall or in that little puddle yet, but you know, yeah, but I haven't figured it out. I was just kind of thinking that, you know, maybe there was something to do with it was being a puddle reflection. I could see a reflection of myself, you know, so you're kind of peeing on yourself. But there's some conclusions I guess you could draw from that. But I think the main lesson of the dream was that I can't be lazy. That if I am lazy, then I will miss out on learning what I need to know. So I found that very useful, and there's been a bunch of dreams this year that I've had that I've actually kind of interpreted myself and have come to some conclusions that I think have led me um, to good results in my life. Uh, so yeah, so something to think about. Dreams are always interesting. If I have any more interesting dreams, maybe I'll mention it on here. I've had some really weird dreams, especially when I was younger, when I was real young. But yeah, and I'm kind of thinking about those now, trying to figure out what they might have meant. If I can figure it out, I'll let you guys know. But it's useful to look at anything and everything in life, and to kind of observe and record whatever you can to glean whatever lessons you can from them. So I thought that was a good lessons learned subject. Um, so today you know, I wanted to talk a little bit. I'm going to read you guys a message I wrote on the Kung Fu Louisville webpage under the little ideas section. but I'm reading it because of all the things that have gone on in the past week. So this whole this whole so 2021 has gotten off to a bit of a rocky start, a bit of a rocky start in some regard. And I'm referring to the rioting that happened at the Capitol last week, which was really disgraceful and really just a shame. A shame that that happened and that people had and that people died as a result. And it's just it's really quite a shame. So and there's been a lot going on this past over a year now, I guess. Um, and this I guess blog, I guess you want if you want to call it that, is I wrote on the Kung Fu Louisville webpage. I wrote on June 2nd, this past year, 2020, and it's called Civil Unrest. So I'll just get right to it. The murder of George, the murder of George, the murder of George Floyd is a tragedy. It should have never happened. And all the other violence and murders committed by the police should never have happened. And it hits close to the residents of Louisville, especially because of the, obviously, I think pretty much everybody knows about Breonna Taylor and what happened to her, which was also a terrible tragedy. That was after I wrote this article. But going on, things need to change in our city, our state, and in our country. That is certain. However, violence is never the right response to violence. Sometimes it may be the only response to save yourself or a loved one, but that does not make it right. I debated whether or not to say anything on social media, the website, etc. Because at first I thought, it is not the responsibility of a business to speak out against something that is not directly affecting that business. I thought of the business as a separate entity, an entity that is apart from racism, police brutality, and I felt like any business should only promote what it offers to its customers. And I think that holds true with most things like political leanings, etc. But when it comes to something that affects our communities, like what has been happening, I think it is the obligation of businesses to speak out against anything that will hurt our communities or our nation, I'll add. These issues we are having with the police and with civil unrest is affecting our communities. As a martial artist, you need to stand up for the weak. That includes the persecuted who may not be weak, but who are weaker or in a more vulnerable position to the people who are persecuting them. So as a martial arts school, we need to stand up and push for a change. But first, that change needs to come from within. You must discipline yourself and then fix the things in your family. Then maybe look at the community and see what you can do there. But it starts with yourself. That is where our role in the solution to all these societal problems comes into play. Training Kung Fu will help you to become disciplined, and it will help you protect your family, protect the weak. It will make you a better person and thereby start the change that is needed in our society. So start training. But protest. Protest if you feel you must, but protest peacefully first. Write a letter to your councilman or woman And to your congressman or woman, create petitions, get them signed by as many people as you can, send them into City Hall, attend a City Hall meeting, make your voice heard that way, vote. Do the things you can to create the change you want in the right way. Your community needs you in this way. This is being a responsible citizen. Before you add to the violence, be sure you have done everything you can in every other way to decrease the violence. Make violence your last resort, not the first thing you do. So that was the message I wrote to my students and to the community, anybody who's looking at the website. I also posted it on posted it to the Facebook page, and I think that's it. But I think it's relevant now too. The things that happened at the riot that happened at the Capitol was terrible. It was a terrible incident by people thinking that they are speaking up for themselves, that they are doing something, that they're trying to make a difference. But really, all they're doing is creating chaos and anarchy. And that in no way helped anybody. There isn't anything good that came of that rioting. It was sickening to look at on TV, and it was shameful. It was shameful as for Americans, because those people are representing us. And that's what the rest of the world saw. And it's just shameful. And I'm sorry that happened. But if anybody's going to make a change, you need to make it from within yourself first. It all starts with you. And I know there are many things that I need to work on with myself. I know I'm nowhere near perfect. Nowhere near where I want to be. But I'm trying to be better. And I think that's what everybody needs to do. They need to focus on themselves and making themselves better. Better fathers, better mothers, better brothers, better sisters, better sons, better daughters, better citizens. Just better. Just be better. We're better than this. Hopefully 2021 goes on an upswing from here. But we all need to do our parts and make ourselves better. So good luck to you all. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.